You were talking on the talkSPORT Edge app this week, and that's what you said. You think he should be the captain?
Yeah, I think, you look at the side and you look at the young players. Reece James, I think he's a candidate, but he's probably a little bit too young. Mason Mount as well, Chelsea through and through. But I think if you want someone who's gone in there, he's won 4 Premier League titles, 77 caps for England, played a lot, 468 games he's played. He's very consistent, very rarely injured. And supposedly, when you hear his managers talk, his training standards, his work ethic's really good. Why not? And
he's a role model to some of the players in the team. He very much looked after Reece James when Reece broke through into the England setup. He obviously has got leadership qualities. I'm sure that Thiago Silva would have all the statistics there that you've just pointed out about Raheem Sterling. Would he not be further up the queue? I mean,
possibly.
Bearing in mind Chelsea still have a captain in Chelsea, Cesar Azpilicueta, and Jorginho's been the vice-captain for a while. Yeah,
but I think with Azpilicueta, there's rumours, and the rumours have not stopped, that he might be leaving the football club Barcelona, the possible destination. Jorginho, again, does he play every game? Is he a player that you want to build your squad around for the future? I think when you look at the age of Raheem Sterling and what he's achieved, 27 years old, 4 Premier League titles amongst other cup competitions, and you look at the way that he has had quite a lot of things to deal with throughout his early career, with the media and with things that have gone against him and other fans giving him grief, and how he's dealt with that so well. I think he'll be inspirational to the players, and I think especially when you talk about setting standards. You don't hear anything about Raheem being late. He always trains. About him playing games. Even the way that he left Manchester City, I thought there was a lot of class from both sides, actually, Manchester City and Raheem, about the way that he appreciated the opportunities that he'd been given off Manchester City, and he's leaving the club, a happy man, and achieved everything that he wanted to achieve at the club. So I think he is definitely a big candidate. I think when you're talking about Thiago, I think, yes, he has got all them attributes, and he's won things in his career, but I think just with his age, if it's his last year, maybe Raheem might be someone that you could build that team around as a captain.
Obviously, great player. Chelsea fans very excited about signing Raheem Sterling. However, he's coming in from the outside into a dressing room that actually has got a couple of players that have been there since they were 9 years of age. Mason Mount might be sticking his hand up and saying,
I was going to suggest him, actually.
I could be the long-term captain of Chelsea. Would maybe someone coming from the outside and putting on the armband straight away disrupt that harmony?
Possibly. And for that reason, I don't think it will happen. I think in some ways it also puts a bit more focus, a bit more spotlight on Raheem Sterling. This is going to be one of the big moves of the summer, leaving the champions to go to Chelsea. I think it's a great deal for Chelsea. I think he had something they're lacking in that forward area. I think it's a great move for Raheem Sterling in a World Cup year, knowing that he's going to be the main man, playing week in, week out. I'm not sure he necessarily wants to be burdened down.
I'm not saying he might want the captaincy, but I just think if I'm a manager of a club and you look at what he's achieved and the way that he conducts himself, I think he'd be a great leadership model and a great captain at Chelsea. And he's a London lad. It's not like he's coming from, the northeast of England, and he's got a different accent, and the boys won't be able to relate to him. They've watched him when they're young players. The boys who've come through.
Why would the accent make a difference? It's about 17 different nationalities.
But you're talking about lads who are Chelsea boys, who are London boys. He is that. He's a London boy. Do you know what I mean? So
so are you saying Geordies don't make good captains?
I'm not saying that. Of course I'm not saying that.
Why he actually said Mackems, to be fair.
I did not say that.
Unbelievable.
I just think I think he's a good candidate. I think he would be a good leadership model at the football club.
17 he's wearing, actually, on pre-season. Expected to make his debut today against Charlotte, FC Charlotte, in the Bank of America Stadium in it's not the south, is it? It's sort of mid-east, really. Charlotte, North Carolina. He will be playing today, making his debut for Chelsea, wearing 17, we think. But I mean, it might be that he ends up trading with N'Golo Kanté and getting the 7 eventually. I would have thought so. His old number 7 shirt, traditionally a winger's jersey, right? Number 7?
Yeah.
Winger's jersey, we all agreed on that. He's going to João Cancelo. Now, look.
Don't like it.
Numbers have gone out the window. No longer is it 1 to 11.
Why should it be a problem?
But why are you laughing then if it is?
I'm smiling along because I know that you're going to have a go.
Should a winger, should a fullback wear number 7? Are you comfortable with it?
Well, what do fullbacks generally do now in the game? As the game's evolved,
well, I suppose they are.
They get into
wingers,
the final third and they put crosses into the box, and actually they score goals as well. Yeah. Not a problem.
What do you think of it?
I don't like it at all. Maybe I'm old school, I'm a traditionalist.
Yeah, all those things are true, but why don't you like the numbers?
Because I think if you're a right back, you should wear number 2. If you're a left back, you should wear number 3.
Well, he was wearing number 27 and Carl Walker wears 2.
Yeah. Maybe I'd like to go back to the days when there were no squad numbers. Because let's be honest, why do we have squad numbers? It's to help make clubs more money because they can sell shirts with numbers on the back.
To give players more of an identity, isn't it? And to make them more recognisable.
I think it's more the former. I'm just not a fan of it. Antonio Valencia, we mentioned earlier, took on Manchester United's number 7 shirt
and then gave it back.
And he played it right back, and he sensibly gave it back, and that was the right decision.
So did he play in that or not?
He played it. No, it was in number 7. Then he went to right back, but I think he went to right back after he'd changed back to 25.
I think he felt like he was burdened by it because obviously it was such an iconic number.
I think he actually said that. Yeah. It does help. It does help commentators, doesn't it? When you're commentating, it does help to have knowledge of all of the squad numbers. You know immediately that you see. I know number 22 with England is Lotte Wubben-Moy, for example, tonight. Number 6 is Millie Bright.
See, I was going to test you actually, but
it's not worth it, is it?
No, he's already there, isn't he? But I wanted to
too much of a sado.
But I wanted to ask Trevor actually very quickly. Have you ever been involved in negotiations where you're talking to a club about a potential move, and before you've signed the paperwork, the squad number comes up? Because clearly Cristiano Ronaldo returning to United last year would have had that conversation.
There was a situation when I went to Manchester City where I was coming out with the number 8 shirt at West Ham. And
that's the central midfielders.
Yeah, but I was number 8, and the number 7 shirt could have been available, and it was offered to me. And Darren Huckabee had that at the time, and I politely said, no, thank you. I'd rather him keep his own shirt, and I'll come in at 28 or whatever number was available.
So good of you.
I just didn't want to go in there and start,
didn't want to be
foot down
time.
And start being big time. I'm a team player, and I just thought, you know what, that's his number. He's been playing in that number. He's won promotion with the club playing in that number. I respect that, and I'll just take a different number.
Yeah, it's been a bit big time being in here today, I think.
He's thrown his weight around a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's been a bit cheeky.
Annoyed the North East.
Yeah, and alienated a whole corner of the country.
Wow.
Kalidou Koulibaly is taking 26, which
John
is
Terry's
John Terry's old number, which
big
some
number.
Chelsea fans actually thought about trying to get retired. But actually,
listen, if he does, for the time that he's going to be at the football club, if he performs anywhere near that kind of standard John Terry performed at, he will be an absolute brilliant buy.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.